Yeah, hello and that. I'm Ruffled Bricks and this is part 3 of my Jet Set Willy speedrunning tutorial. This part covers by far the easiest section of the speedrun and we'll be packing a lot of rooms into it as a result. We're picking up where we left off last time in the Orangery, which is the closest you will get to RNG in this game. A little bit of a speedrunner joke there. Once we've taken on some vitamin C, we will drop into the surprisingly buoyant swimming pool, do a quick lap around the west wing to collect a tuning fork and some floating daggers, then pop into the cold store for a little bit of de-icing. We'll then head out the back door to Willy's private beach, the no man's land between his yacht and his tool shed. Then we'll return to the back stairway where this section of the run ends. There'll also be a little bit of discussion about the game's somewhat unwieldy rope dynamics and also about how you might want to set up your speedrun splits. Right ho, scouts. Let's get foraging. This is another room that has a lot of scope for instant game overs. There's a lot of falls you can do into the swimming pool. Although that said, the swimming pool does have a rope in it. So if you happen to fall around this section here, on the left hand side of the word Orangery, then actually you'll be alright. It'll be a time loss if you're speedrunning, but you will get caught by the rope. But if you're over here, or if you're on this side of the level, then you are dead, basically. First thing to bear in mind is that there is an arrow that comes relatively quickly in this level, and there it goes, right across there. What we're going to do is we are going to drop down onto this platform and jump up to grab this orange here, and then drop left twice onto this platform. If you do all of that without pausing, you will get down onto this platform before the arrow comes along to get you. So here we go. Jump, drop down, and boom, there you are. Like, we got there way before the arrow had any chance of getting us. Next thing we're going to do, see this blue spiral spider web here? Is this another computer part that I'm not aware of? This blue spider web here. Wait for that to get up to this platform again, and then when it does, jump across to the platform that it is currently sitting on here. Drop down, grab the orange, drop down, jump when the spider web is just going above that platform, and then if you've done that timing correctly, you will actually be able to get 2 jumps from about the leftish, middle-ish of this bottom platform onto this platform here, and then over the red moon over here. And that second jump will get you onto this platform where you can get the second of the 3 oranges. We're then going to get this one in the middle last. First thing we need to do though is get back past this orange. Now this is a tough jump, and I'm going to use the apostrophe button for this one. What you need to do is get right to the edge, and then as it goes just above your head, jump like that, and then jump up and grab the orange there. You have to do that jump pretty much from that timing there, because the timing is very tight. Like, if any much later than that, and the red moon will be coming back down again and will kill you. It will eclipse you. Now that we've got that and drop down onto this platform, we are now going to drop into the swimming pool. So here we go. There you are. And all you need to do in the swimming pool is hold left to get to the next room. You'll notice that when you actually go into the swimming pool in this game, and it doesn't matter where you enter it from, whether it's from the top, whether it's from the left, or if you find some magic way of entering it from the right, or if you enter it from beneath, from the cold store, no matter where you enter it from, you will hear an item being collected. Now that is because there is an item in this room, but due to a glitch with the game mechanic, the rope actually collects the item on your behalf just by being in the room. Basically, items get collected by anything that's white in the game. So that's the main reason why Willy is white and all the other enemies tend to be different colours. But in this instance, the rope is a white moving object, and because of that, it actually collects the item on your behalf. So there's nowhere special you need to go in the swimming pool. All you need to do is just into the swimming pool at some point in your run and you will collect it. But this is the best part of the run to do it, basically. So you can see I've got my splits up here. So these are my splits from my any percent PB, which I've got down to 2043 at the moment, although I can still get that quicker. Unlike Manic Miner, or a lot of games in fact, there aren't particularly obvious places to do splits in this game, because there's no particularly obvious milestones, like there's no levels in this game. You know, there's no bosses or anything like that to measure splits by. In terms of splits, if you want to set up splits for your speedrun, I'd say basically just put the splits wherever you feel most comfortable putting them. Like whichever sections of the run you want to know the most about your speed for, put them there. But the one bit of advice I would say is to make sure that you put your splits in quieter areas of the mansion if you can. So areas where you don't necessarily have to be, you know, dodging enemies very quickly and that, and you can quite easily press your split button on the keyboard. So the first split I have is actually the swimming pool. And that's because, as you've seen, a lot of those rooms that we've just been in are quite awful. This particular speedrun route front loads a lot of the harder rooms in the game. Once you've gotten through all of those, this next section that we're going in is actually a bit of a breather. But this is the first part of the run where I set a split on my splits, because this is kind of like a milestone that says, well, you got through that. So this is a particularly more chill section of the run from here on in. It's going to be actually quite laid back from here on in compared to what you've just seen, until we get up to the wine cellar, or get down to it rather. Next part is the west wing. So walk along, go down here and jump up to here when the blue scroll heads back up like that, and then jump over the red bird like that into the west bedroom. Here you are going to want to climb up this ladder. And to do that, the quickest way you can do that is if you can hit the jump from this full stride position here, and then do a turning quintuple jump. So the way this turning quintuple jump is going to work is the first jump is going to be you jumping onto the ladder from here. Second jump is going to be you holding right, so Willy turns around. Third and fourth jumps are going to be vertical jumps up the ladder, and then the fifth jump is going to be to the right to get you as far into above the west bedroom as you can. So we run in, jump, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. As you notice, I was a bit slow on the uptake with that with the turn there, but it didn't matter. It doesn't matter when you do the turn effectively, but it's best to get it out of the way at the beginning. Next thing to do is run to the right and jump. And you can do this as a turning triple jump if you want to get up to this platform here, but you need to do this jump down here as an edge jump if you want to do that. Doesn't really matter though, otherwise just jump across and then jump right up to this platform and then jump like that. Walk along, grab the tuning fork and then do 2 vertical jumps and a right jump up the ladder like this. Now, the west wing roof. This part of the west wing roof has an arrow in it, which you're going to see very shortly. And there it goes. Now, the thing about this arrow is that originally, when I was first speedrunning this game, I thought you had to pause when that arrow came past, because the way I used to do it was like this. So you drop down, jump over the first red plant here, and then you just have to pause for that arrow to go past, otherwise it hits you, and then you jump all the way to the end like that, which you can do by just holding jump and holding right, by the way. You don't need to adjust position between the plants. However, a slightly quicker way of doing that, where you don't have to wait at all, is as follows. So go in here and instead of dropping down, jump straight off the end like that, off the last 2 pixels, and then the arrow just sails over your head like that. and you can just keep jumping. The only thing that you do have to bear in mind there is in between these two plants here, you will have to walk a little bit to your right, because if you jump immediately, you probably will jump into the arrow. But unlike this one, which involves you waiting for a bit, this one means you have no waiting whatsoever. So you can just like plow it straight across. So just to show you that again, run across, jump off the last 2 pixels of that green platform there, jump, walk for a bit, jump as the arrow sails past, and then just hold jump for the rest of it, and boom, there you are. That is the quickest way of doing the top bit. Drop down into the orangery here and walk to the left. This is pretty easy. These just jump and walk into the items as you need to. Jump over the saw there and jump, and then this jump back here, if you do it between the words west and wing from West Wing Roof, then you're pretty safe on that one. Timing is a little bit variable because these enemies aren't as close to each other as they might look when you first play this, but yeah, that's a pretty easy room, the West Wing Roof. Nothing special to do that, just plow through it as quickly as you can. Walk down the steps now into West Wing again, and this time we're going to walk all the way down into the back stairway, where we're going to jump through this staircase at the top to go onto the top pink platform like this. As I said, this was a chill section of the run, and it's only going to get more chill here because we've got the cold store. Here's a quick explanation of rope manoeuvring in this game, as it can be a little bit fiddly. When you're on a rope, if you move in the same direction that the rope is swinging, you will climb down the rope, and if you move in the opposite direction, you will climb up the rope. So for example, if the rope was swinging left, you would need to push left to climb down the rope, or push right to climb up the rope. And if it was swinging right, then you'd push right to climb down, or left to climb up. Any jumps will go in the direction that Willy is facing. Cold store is another notorious difficult route, and that's why we're going to death warp it. Also, it is quicker to do so. So stand under the first item like this in the mid-stride position there. So you're kind of like halfway between the platform and the item. Then when the raspberry ripple comes here, vertical jump twice over it. Then as it comes back towards you, do a right jump over the raspberry ripple to get over to here. And this then means that you can drop down to grab this item, this second one, and you will land on the rope as it reaches the leftmost extremity of its swing. Then when you are on the rope, immediately, or as immediately as you immediately can, turn left and jump onto this platform with the green penguin on it. So we're going to wait for the vanilla ice cream to head left, which won't take long, about a frame or 3. And then we're going to drop down and grab both of these items here and death warp back up to where we came in. So here we go. Drop down, jump, and drop. Boom, like that. And that is how you get all 4 of those items in that room very quickly, and then can head back towards the west again. So let's show you that again all in one. So here we go, into the cold store, stand in the mid-stride position, vertical jump again to avoid old Ripple there. As he comes back, jump right over him, drop down onto the rope, jump onto the green penguin's platform, drop down to grab the last 2 items, and that is how you do that particularly quickly. So now we're going to head to the left of the back stairway, and we're going to jump up here into the back door. And we got another death warp, the 4th death warp in the run coming up very soon, which is this, the tool shed. So this is the easiest death warp in the run, and it's also the biggest time save out of any death warp in this run. So all you need to do literally is just drop off this platform onto the hammer there, and the fall will then send you back to the where you came in. at the cost of 1 life. Now there's 2 ways that you can do this as part of this run. There is a flashy, showy off way that I devised, which probably doesn't really help that much. Or there is the nice, safe, tried and tested way that will that is safer, although does have one slightly dangerous caveat to it. I'll show you both anyway, just to see what you prefer. Run down these stairs, and then when you get to like the last, sort of around this section here, so the second square worth of stairs from the bottom here, you can then jump through the staircase like that and drop straight onto the hammer and spawn back at the top of the stairs here. So here's how you do that in action. Run down the stairs and then just jump straight through and fall down. Narrowly missing the green clippers there, but that's fine. You'll never hit them as long as you do that straight off the bat, and then running straight into the beach to continue. This way of doing it is probably slightly quicker than the one I just showed you, but doesn't look quite as cool. Is in this one, run to the bottom of the stairs, go into the beach, go straight back in, jump through the stairs, and then drop down like that. There is one thing that you have to be mindful of though with this this jump though, if you do it this route, and that is, you'll notice that when I did that, I didn't have to take my finger off the right button at all when I did that. I just went straight through, dropped down, and I didn't get hit by the pink saw. However, there is one timing like that where if you do that, you can actually end up hitting the pink saw and not getting the item. So if you do that, like, you actually go too fast by doing that. If you cleanly jump through the staircase as I did from the full stride position near the end there, then you actually will have to pause for a little bit at the top of this platform, because if you don't, then you will fall onto the saw and not the item. Whereas any other jump that you do through there will be fine, because the staircase will slow you down enough, just enough that you won't get hit by the saw. So that's something to bear in mind, because I have lost lives on that before in runs just by not really paying attention to what I'm doing, and just clipping straight through the staircase and being too far ahead. After this stream recording, I put footage of the 2 strats next to each other to check what the time difference was, and it turns out they are identical if you do a full stride clip through the stairs. Any other clip through the stairs will add a fraction of a second to your time, so overall I'd say do the strat where you nip into the beach first. Once you've respawned back at the back at this position, then just head straight into the beach like that. Now with this thing here, you've got an arrow to dodge when you do the jump onto the rope here. And the way that you're going to do this is as follows. So stand in the mono leg position near the end. That's where I like to stand here, and then when this rope is swinging back to the right and it is about level with this crab here, that's when you want to jump. So here we go, like that, and that will get you onto the rope without the arrow hitting you. Head straight across to the left. We're going to get these sandwiches there in a moment. Now this here, jump straight across, so just run straight across here and jump to the left. So don't worry too much about the flag there, it won't get you in that one. As long as your foot is just slightly off the edge of this platform by the time you jump, then you'll be fine. And then jumping over these bollards, or whatever they are, it's not too hard to do these just from visual cues effectively. The one thing you need to be aware of is that when you jump onto this this ramp here, you can accidentally clip through it if you're not careful. And the way I use to avoid doing that is, it's hard to see on the screen due to the colours used, but there's a diagonal stripe going here, and it's 1, 2, 3 diagonal stripes to the right of the bollard, and if you jump when you hit there, you should land on this ramp without clipping through it. So let's see if we get it. There we go, perfect. So again, it's not the end of the world if that happens. It's just a little bit of a time loss if you accidentally clip through that. We're going to jump over this radar here, Nothing special about this jump either, just jump when you can and then jump from the last square of that platform so that you land on this kind of safety floating platform here, because otherwise you'll fall to your death. Then drop down to the left, walk down the slope and jump over the pink stepper, and the conveyor belt will push you into the yacht. This part of the yacht is not particularly difficult to do because the saw is actually, you have to follow it all the way along to the right in order to get the item and then run back quickly, but it's not that difficult in this game. It's much harder in Jet Set Willy 2 because the cycle is much more tight, but here it's pretty easy. So all we do is we'll just go into the room, follow the saw, 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 grab the item, lead the saw, lead the saw, lead the saw, lead the saw, lead the saw. There is one speedrun tactic you can use for this room to speed it up ever so slightly, because we're going to go up the ladder now and jump left into the bow again. There is a position here where if you jump from it, and you can actually land on the ladder as you go. I believe it is this one, like that. You'll save probably like a fraction of a second by jumping onto this onto the ladder from the right, as opposed to just jumping onto it from like vertically. If you are too far to the left when you do that jump, then you'll just miss the ladder and it'll waste time anyway. And if you're too far to the right, then you will hit the ceiling, and that will not be much use anyway, because you'll probably get hit by the saw at that point. The problem with this room as well is that it's like there's not many good visual cues in this for timing jumps. It's just the way that it's laid out and the colours that have been used in that mean that it's quite difficult to actually hit the right positions and stuff. So I'd only say try and get that into your run if you're really confident at pixel positioning. So up the ladder we go, into the bow, and then we're going to do a turning quadruple jump here. Or actually, we're going to jump 4 times, but the last jump of this you might not want to do all in one sequence, because you might need to move to the right from jumping over the radar. So this is what you need to do. So here we go. So into this we go, jump up, grab the wheel, jump again, turn on the 3rd jump, and then there's your 4th jump over the radar like that. So that I managed to do as a turning quadruple jump over the radar. But you might be too quick sometimes on the 3rd jump there. And so you might want to wait for the radar to move just a little bit more to the left before you jump over them. So just play it by ear, basically. Play it by this big spinning ear in front of you. Despite this being a pretty chill section of the run, this is one of my least favourite jumps in the entire game coming up. This jump here over the bollard, you have a 2 pixel range for this jump to work. And it is annoying as hell, this jump, because there are no real strong visual cues for this whatsoever. So you just kind of have to learn by doing on this one, basically. You can jump in the mono leg position here, and that will get you across safely. You can also jump in the mid-stride position here just before the mono leg position, and that will get you across safely. However, if you jump from the full stride position or any further up the slope than this, then you will jump too high and you will lose a life. And then if you jump too low, you will hit the right hand bollard. So that is a particularly nasty jump for this section. It's a 2 pixel range you've got for that. And as I say, there aren't many strong visual cues, so you just have to practice until you get it right. But then once you've done that, just jump straight over these 3, the remaining bollards like that. And this jump over the bollard here and this flag is not as hard as it looks. You can go quite close to the bollard on that. If you jump from like between these 2 stripes here, if you can see those. So they're like the second and third stripes along from the edge of the bollard. Then you will get over the bollard and the flag pretty safely. As you saw when I jumped initially over those two bollards and then over this, the flag wasn't in a position where it was going to hit me. So as long as you do that all straight off the bat, then you're good. Now we're going to get the sandwiches in the beach. So to do this, walk to the end of the pier and position yourself in the monoleg position. The reason you want to do this is the rope automatically picks you up like that. And then you can jump onto the sandwiches there without falling too far. And the thing about that jump, the position on that is wait until you are above the third crab. And if you jump there, or even just slightly further to the right than that, then you will land safely to the right of the last crab and grab the sandwiches in the process. Notice that you actually collect 2 items here rather than just 1. There was originally supposed to be a sandwich on the left side of the screen as well, but due to a glitch they've both congealed into one all-purpose meal deal on the right. And then all you need to do is wait for the rope to come back and jump up and then jump onto the platform like that. An alternative way of doing the beach is by grabbing the sandwiches on your first visit rather than the second, by dropping off the rope between the 2 crabs and then jumping right onto the sandwiches. I did a test with both strats, and as you can see there's no real difference between the speed of the two, as both of them require waiting for the rope to do a cycle before you can start swinging again. I personally prefer grabbing the sandwiches on the second visit, as I find the strat I've shown you here slightly safer and more reliable. But if you're a showboat, go for them on the first visit. Now let's go back into the tool shed, up the stairs. Now here, stand in this second set of steps here. So this bit where this square is cut out. Stand here, jump to the right, and this clips you through the top of the slope and means you can walk through this soft pink platform here. The reason we're doing this is because the next room we're going into is the wine cellar, and this just makes the journey to that room just ever so slightly quicker than going the top way around. So then walk here, drop down onto the conveyor belt. There's a move that I like to call the Zorro in this game, and basically what that involves is when you get to the end of this conveyor belt from the back door, move 1 pixel to the right, then 1 pixel to the left, and that will get you cleanly into the wine cellar in the minimal possible time in the stairway. So let's see if we get it. So here we go, and oh, that was terrible. But here we go, one more go. There we go, there's your Zorro, like that. I call it the Zorro because you effectively end up tracing a Z shape in the way that you traverse between the various rooms. It's just a nice way of spending as little time as you can in the back stairway. Well, hope you all enjoyed that brief holiday. Ta for watching. Please do drop any feedback you might have in the comments, and do check out my Twitch channel for speedrunning, DJ mixes and the occasional bit of rhetoric wrangling. In the next part we'll be going through the storm after the calm as we tackle not 1, not 2, but 3 of the game's most brutal rooms in one all-purpose underground gauntlet. This video, it's over.